Boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. A.J. Brown is set to speak to the media today. We'll get into that conversation. You see this amazing graphic, this piece of artwork that was put together by our team here at Jacob Media. Look at that. That is absolutely incredible. He didn't talk. We're going to hear what he has to say. Oh, goodness gracious. I know everyone's excited. I have put together some things that I feel will be on A.J. Brown's bingo card today. So if you're going to play A.J. Brown bingo, have your ideas ready of what would go on, his A.J. Brown finally speaks to the media bingo card. How about that? All right, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid returned last night, had a little bit of an ankle issue. Four games when he missed. The Sixers split that. They got torched by the Bulls a couple of days ago, and then last night they played the Bulls again, this time at home, the home portion of the home and home, however you want to make sense of that. And Joel Embiid dropped his 7th career triple-double, absolutely a thing of beauty. We have some incredible stats from Joel Embiid last night, and I'm going to say this, and I feel like I have to say this every time we talk about the Sixers with any form of positivity. I can't do it. I know I tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that when they beat Memphis or whoever the hell it was, that this team's going to be great. They're pulling it. No, it wasn't Memphis. Who was it? It was Minnesota. Minnesota. Excuse me, wrong M. Minnesota Timberwolves, and they just dominated that game for the most part. Then I was ready to get hurt again. But damn it, Joel Embiid is going to make me give a damn about the MVP award, even though I shouldn't give a damn about the MVP award. Joel Embiid is going to make me give a damn about the regular season, and even more importantly, Tyrese Maxey is going to make me give a damn about the regular season with his maturation process throughout this year. And one of the things I had asked for at the start of the year, when I went into the Sixers season, was, give me the entertaining 82 games. I do like basketball. I do like the 76ers. I might as well be entertained while I got to watch this stuff. So at least make it entertaining. And you know what? They made it entertaining for the most part this season. Celtics lost last night. That's a nice little thing. But watching the Sixers team this year, they are going to make me buy in. They are going to give me hope. And that's really all I asked for. This regular season, I asked for hope. Give me hope. Give me some hope that they're actually going to do the same thing in the playoffs. Give me hope that Joel Embiid is actually going to look like an MVP in the playoffs. But when push comes to shove, here's where I'm at on the 76ers. When push comes to shove, here's where I'm at. Prove it. And they're not going to do that until they get to the second round of the playoffs. And they're not going to do that until they get out of the second round of the playoffs. And that's where everything starts. The entire season, the first round of the playoffs, nothing really matters until you get to that second round. And then we'll see what's up. Until then, it's just sheer entertainment. I'm not going to buy into the idea of that, they can actually make it out of the second round until they actually make it out of the second round. And hopefully Nick Nurse is the difference in doing that and this version of the 76ers. So we'll get into that conversation. Like I said, we got A.J. Brown bingo. We got Matt Patricia addressing the media yesterday. And we also have Brian Johnson addressing the media yesterday. Here is what I have taken away from Brian Johnson's press conference yesterday, combining it with what Nick Sirianni had to say during his Monday press conference and combining that with what Nick Sirianni had to say immediately after the game about the 3rd and 19, about the 1st and 20 after Jordan Mailata's holding penalty. Here's what I have taken away from it, and this is what happened. This is what I believe happened. It's very simple. It is not at all difficult. After Jordan Mailata took the holding penalty and the Eagles got pushed back to a 1st and 20 on their second to last possession, here's exactly what happened. The Eagles panicked. Listening to Nick Sirianni talk about it, combining it with Brian Johnson and what we have heard from Jalen Hurts after the game as well. They just panicked. It's as simple as that. And that's not an excuse by any means. It's an indictment. They panicked. With the game on the line, they panicked. Miscommunication, horrible play calls, burning a timeout. Panicked. We'll let you hear one more time from Nick Sirianni on what went down with the miscue. We'll let you hear what Brian Johnson had to say about it. We'll also get into Olivia Reiner's question yesterday from Inquirer.com. I reached out to Olivia. I got to get her on this show. I have to talk to her. I have to interview her. She is dropping bombs in the press conference of knowledge Brilliant questions. Last week, if you remember, it was to Nick Sirianni. Yeah, Nick, you say all this is fixable, so why isn't this fixed? You got me. And yesterday, to Brian Johnson, basically the question was, how does the defensive play throughout that game where they were just carved through for, at that time, 3 straight touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, how does that not factor into your decision-making? Even earlier in the game, Milton Williams comes up with that sack fumble, holds him to a field goal. They're knocking on the door for a touchdown if it wasn't for Milton Williams making a play. You also have Sidney Brown coming up with that interception on a horrible decision there where they just were not on the same page. Kyler Murray and I forget who was targeted on that. Was it Wilson? I'm not sure. On the Sidney Brown 99 interception return for a touchdown. Number of occasions where even if they didn't get points or they only got 3 points, the Cardinals offense was eating up your defense. So how did that not factor in? The question from Olivia Reiner. The question, so you went conservative there, even though you said you didn't go conservative. You totally went conservative, and you panicked. Those are my words, not her. But even though you guys went conservative there, why didn't you try to get more points than just the 3 points? Why did you panic, essentially, given how the defense had been playing all day? You know, the only expectation you can really have is that the defense is not going to make a play. They're not going to make a stop. And you need 7 points out of this to make sure that you can keep this game going into overtime. Oh, and also, if you do get more yards and you're able to get a first down after the 1st and 20, and you do get into the end zone, how much more clock are you ticking? How much more time are you taking to do that before you give the ball back to the Arizona Cardinals, where they're going to have to get a touchdown to win the game? Because your defense wasn't stopping a squat-ha. So the question from Olivia Reiner. How does the defense's play not factor in to whether or not you're aggressive in that situation? Brian Johnson. The funny thing about what had happened, you'll hear it, and it's beautiful. Let's start it off with something fun. All right, I need to start off with something fun today, okay? Oh, we also have Matt Patricia talking about God knows what. No, Matt Patricia talking about the Eagles' run defense, non-existent run defense, and how, in all honesty, do you try to correct things when you just got this job, essentially? How do you do that? And also, the second half has been a problem. It's been a big problem for this Eagles defense. Why? Guys wearing down? Guys breaking down? Guys tired? Jordan Davis tired? Jalen Carter tired? Fletcher Cox tired? What's going on there? Matt Patricia explains it all. But let's start it off with something fun, okay? A.J. Brown is set to address the media. Now, there's a report that came out from Marcus Hayes on Monday, I believe it was, about how the relationship between A.J. Brown and the coaching staff is fractured, about how there's a problem in the locker room. And one source, unnamed source, a veteran, unnamed source, said there's an issue between A.J. Brown and the coaching staff. Not just Nick Sirianni, but the coaching staff. And it is the only thing we really have from A.J. Brown is saying that his anger is not directed at the media. Cool. I don't know what anybody did. Just trying to find stuff out. So A.J. Brown announced yesterday, give it to you one more time, that via Twitter, and by the way, I call it Twitter. I heard Elon Musk himself refer to it as Twitter, so it's still Twitter. A.J. Brown will speak to the media today. Tomorrow is now today. So what could A.J. Brown possibly say? My opinion on this whole matter has been that he's got nothing nice to say, and nothing he's going to say is going to help this organization. There is no positive from A.J. Brown talking. I'll liken it to this. I don't know what kind of person you are when you get into an argument with a significant other, a friend even, right? Sometimes things might piss you off so much, or maybe you're just in a bad mood because you're affected by it. Some people just shut down and they don't talk. A.J. Brown might be one of those guys where he might be at a point where he just can't say, I got nothing nice to say. I got nothing that can help the situation. I'm just going to shut up. And that might drive the other people crazy. The other people might be teammates. The other people might be the media. The other people might be the organization as a whole. But if you're, in my opinion, again, if you're the organization, you're pretty happy he's not talking. And he's given some time to cool the hell down. Because you don't want, baby, you don't want the hot and heavy, angry, pissed off, frustrated A.J. Brown in front of an open microphone, let alone a pool of reporters. You don't want that. I don't think you want that smoke if you're the organization. So you give him time to cool down for a second here. So what's he gonna say? Here are some things that I have on the bingo card. All right, let's see if we get some of these in here. Okay, ready? Do whatever it takes. think we're going to get that in there. Everyone's frustrated. All right, you guys can play along too. If you have something that jumps to mind, put it right there in the comments there. Just put it in. If you're going to put it in the comments, just put it in there like AJ and then in quotes or AJ semicolon so I know that that's your bingo card tag. All right, do whatever it takes. Everybody's frustrated. It takes all of us. Not about targets, not about stats. We're cool. Still processing. Still 11-5. Still in the playoffs. I was just frustrated. Escape room, Jordan Mailata said on WIP yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe, that A.J. Brown took him to an escape room. I think many people read that as like a playful escape room that people go to. I think it was an actual escape room where they can escape the organization and the coaching staff and play calling. That's just me, though. That's just, I have no sources, but that was fun. I'm putting it out there. It's the media. I don't think I'll say that, but I know people want it on there. Get on the same page. Find rhythm, mindset, buy in, lost locker room. Players make plays. Everybody needs to step up. Focus on the future. My bingo card, by the way, has about 100 squares on it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. If we hear it is what it is today, find a big red panic button and then just start like jumping up and down on it, okay? And then finally, last but not least, our standard. That's right. Our standard. That's what I have on my A.J. Brown bingo card today when he addresses the media. What do you have on yours? Please let me know. All right. To put this all together in one nice package for you, I got to do this. All right. So, miscues. All right. I apologize, but I got to do this. One last time. 60 seconds of Nick Sirianni trying to explain what the hell happened on the second to last drive when they had the miscommunication there on the sideline.
Yeah, just that. Just a little miscommunication. Again, anytime something like that happens, that's on me. The coach to quarterback communications always that's on me. And as far as the drive, again, you think through different things and different scenarios. We did feel like there was aggression in the play call to be able to run the run that we ran. But when something like that doesn't work out, you think to yourself, well, should have done it the other way, right? And that's just the mud you drag yourself through as a coach. Sometimes the decisions work, sometimes they don't work, and when they don't work, when you're not the one out there, playing, you think to yourself, what could we have done differently in that scenario? And of course, so the different thought process would have been to be past it in that scenario and shoot. So that's something that we got to live with and we got to think through, and that's all in attempts for us to get better.
All right, Brian Johnson did the same thing yesterday. That reminds me. Brian Johnson did the same thing yesterday. I don't think he says it in the cut I'm about to play for you, but this has become a crutch for Nick Sirianni. We're not arguing result. We're not talking about the result. When we see the play executed, even before it's over, if you don't wince a little bit when the Eagles still have the ball. So they have the ball at the 29-yard line after the penalty. So they go from the Arizona 20 to the Arizona 30. You panic at the 30-yard line that you're not going to get a field goal from Jake Elliott? Really? Really? You go super conservative at that point. Nobody is arguing about the result here. The result is what it is. But if you didn't see Jalen Hurts roll out and go, ugh, even before, he could have broken it off for 20 yards. All right? He could have taken it to the 10-yard line. But at the time you saw the play call and the beginning of the play start to unfold, you didn't go, that's not arguing a result at that point. That's arguing a play call. So I'm looking at it, and I see Jalen Hurts start running, and I go, don't like that. Nope. And then I see him run again, and I go, God, what is he doing? Even on the first one when they got 4 yards, I went, all right, I'm going to say I got yards out of that, but don't like it. Okay. Not my favorite thing. I even told you yesterday, I didn't hate it on the first down, but I did, okay. Uncomfortable. And then to see it again, you went, oh, God, they're just terrified right now. Absolutely terrified. Then you have the offensive substitution problem. Then you burn the timeout. And then the screen to Kenny Gainwell. Again, you're at the 29-yard line. And right there, you're pooping bricks because you're afraid you're not going to be in field goal range. You have to get to the kick line for Jake Elliott. Oh, it was a little windy. It was a little windy on the sideline yesterday. We were a little worried about the Jake Elliott. Were you? You know, he's pretty good at kicking footballs and stuff, right? You know, he made a 59-yarder in the pouring rain against the Bills, but, you know, that's just me. So that's where they were at. Panic mode, essentially. And that was Nick Sirianni on it. That's Nick Sirianni telling us that we were arguing the result and not the actual play call, when, in fact, that is insanely wrong. We are arguing the play call. We don't like the play call. DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts, whoever, Kenny Gainwell breaks it for 20 yards. We're like, okay, that was weird. Of course they went to that, but all right. At least they got it. No matter how dumb the play call is. Here is Brian Johnson's take on what the hell happened in that second to last possession.
The timeout that had to be called.
Yeah, we just had a miscommunication on a personnel grouping. You know, really never should have happened. So, you know, anytime that happens, obviously, it's not great. You know, we ended up getting to the play, you know, that we wanted to, but something that you obviously don't want to do.
Right. Brian, can you take us into the sequence after the penalty to back you up to 1st and 20?
For sure. Yeah.
Those 3 plays and why you called them in the game.
Yeah. So, you know, when you get in those type of 4-minute situations, there's 3 different things that you're managing at that point. You know, I think the first is obviously down and distance. You know, you're managing the clock. Obviously, you don't want to try to give them the ball back. And then you're managing the kick line. So, you know, all three of those things really come into play. So, you know, the first down we get 4, 2nd and 16. You know, Buddha makes a fantastic play. You know, it was a play that had a chance to be really, really big and be a big hit. You know, credit to Buddha Baker. He made a fantastic play on that particular play. And then, you know, what ends up happening is now you lose 4 yards, and so you're 3rd and 20, right? So the priorities of what you're trying to manage really change, like, each play throughout that sequence. So now you get yourself into a 3rd and 20, and, you know, you want to put yourself in a position to score points, because that's not obviously an area on the field where you're going to punt the ball. And with the way the wind was in that stadium on that side, like, we had to get to the kick line. So that was the 3rd and 20. You know, it obviously has multiple options on that play call. If you get a pressure look, that's what we were going to. And if we didn't get a pressure look, then the play would have been something else. So, you know, the guys executed, you know, what we tried to do. Unfortunately, you know, just weren't able to get it done.
Is there any validity to the argument that
they executed it the way you wanted it done? They executed it. So if they executed and it's a good play call, then it works, right? Right? I feel dumber for having listened to that. But I have to play it for you because that is exactly what your coaching staff is thinking right now. That's a problem. And as much as I'll look at Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, analytic department about everything that they do behind the scenes, much as I'll look at that, you're on the sideline. To my knowledge, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, your analytics department is not right there in your headset going, this is what you should do. Do this right now. No, just like I always say, Jalen Hurts has final say over where the football goes. All right? Your coaching staff, right there in that moment, has final say over where you're putting your players and whether or not you are putting those players in a position to make a play. And in that position, according to Brian Johnson, they put him in the right position, they executed, didn't make the play. That seems bonkers to me. That seems like a bonkers attempt at a justification. They panicked. It is no simpler than that. They absolutely panicked in that situation. There's no other way to look at it. You're at their 29-yard line. You are well within field goal range for Jake Elliott. Even on a windy day, you're in field goal range for Jake Elliott. And you have a win right there waiting for you. All you got to do is make a play. With A.J. Brown, at the time, a healthy Devontae Smith, An MVP caliber quarterback, not playing like that this year. But in this game, he was playing pretty damn well. And you said, nope, we're just gonna get points. We're just gonna get points, and we're gonna trust our defense to make a play. More on that in a second. Finally, it's been talked about a lot here with A.J. Brown and what's been going on with him off the field. But on the football field is obviously what matters and affects everything else. And our friend Jeff Kerr put the numbers together about A.J. Brown and how much his numbers have fallen by the wayside, despite the fact that I think he's just 20 yards away from a new career high in yards for a season, which is obviously fantastic. And you want to see that continue to grow. But as you see this start to pile up here, I have these numbers somewhere. I apologize. I thought I had these numbers right in front of me. I do not. But yeah, it's been a struggle. So yesterday, Brian Johnson was talking about forcing the ball to A.J. Brown. Again, not the right attitude.
Yeah, I mean, A.J.'s a fantastic player, and, he demands a lot of attention defensively. He's had a fantastic year to this point. I think he's still on pace to have, a career year. So A.J. is somebody that obviously everybody in this building has a lot of trust, a lot of respect for. And we got to do a great job of getting the ball. I have to do a great job of getting him the ball.
How much does the second half game plan change?
So he's got to force the ball, is what's going to happen. Put the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and good things are going to happen for you. And the fact that A.J. Brown's numbers have fallen by the wayside now is rather troubling, considering he's one of your best, if not your best playmaker on the football field, aside from your quarterback. And really, that's the only guy that can compete with him as far as playmaking ability goes. And I understand that they're going through a stretch, or they went through a stretch earlier in the season with 6 straight games with 125 yards or more. And now, all of a sudden, it has been an insane wrinkle in the Eagles' offense and being able to get him the football on a consistent basis, especially in the second half, where he only had one catch. One catch. The word forcing has already been used in a negative connotation surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles on a national level. Dan Orlovsky a couple of weeks ago did a great breakdown of forcing footballs into situations where they shouldn't be, forcing plays to happen on the football field. That shouldn't be the case. Whether it's Jalen Hurts firing down the field to Quez Watkins against Seattle, trying to force that ball, or at the end of that game, Jalen Hurts ignoring Kenny Gainwell, or not seeing Kenny Gainwell leak out when he had 15 seconds left. Could have gotten 15 yards left in that game. That would have been nice. Got a field goal out of it. Instead, he tries to force it to A.J. Brown, and there's no play to be made there. For the Eagles, that is. Seahawks, definitely a play to be made there. You can't force the football because that's where mistakes happen, and that's where incompletions happen, and that's where you get the two bad things that can happen when you throw the football. To listen to your offensive coordinator talk about forcing the ball into A.J. Brown, you know what it makes me hear? You know what I hear out of that? I hear, oh, good, more mistakes about to happen. Yay! How about scheme guys open? A little bit of that would be nice. A little bit of that. Then finally, this is where just an absolute thing of brilliance comes in here. Olivia Reiner of the Inquirer asked the question of questions yet again in a press conference. And this is a beautiful question. Keep in mind how much the Eagles defense have been struggling in that game. In the midst of 3 straight scores on 3 straight possessions. Right before that final possession as well for the Cardinals, they had that stretch of 19 plays, 15 points, 5 minutes, 52 seconds, and they only saw 1 third down. That's a hot knife through butter, folks. The Arizona Cardinals offense was a hot knife through butter. And yes, the Eagles defense was the butter. Olivia Reiner on what the hell they were thinking in that second to last possession, and if they were thinking about the defense at all. Listen to how Brian Johnson gets flustered here.
That second to last drive, you talked about the desire to get points there, regardless of if you're settling for a field goal. To that point in the game, the defense had conceded 3 straight touchdowns in the second half. Why didn't the defense's play that day factor into your decision and not trying to go for a touchdown?
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that question for you. I don't know if I can answer that question, but for us offensively, in terms of the situation and what we were trying to accomplish, that was the mode that we were in offensively.
I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. Okay, so if he could answer that question, you know what the question is? Defense sucked. You're right. Needed 7 points there because our defense wasn't stopping anything if we were going to put the game in their hands. And sure enough, they didn't stop anything. Sure enough, they continued to be that hot knife through butter. March on down the field by getting that ball 31-28. They're losing 7 plays to go 70 yards. 7 plays to go 70 yards for that touchdown in 2 minutes and 1 second. Needed that touchdown, folks. And again, that goes back, and I can't believe I'm using this word. I'm not going to say brilliant. I'm going to use another B word. Ballsy. That goes back to the ballsy call by Jonathan Gannon, because Jonathan Gannon gave you the football on an onside kick and said, yeah, go ahead. Score. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. If I just hold you to a field goal here, I win. That's all I need to do. I get the ball back with more time. And I don't think you have the cojones, like I do, for you to actually put the ball in the end zone. Go ahead and score. That was the call of the game. That was the call of the game. For all the stuff that the Eagles got wrong in that Cardinals game, the call of the game was Jonathan Gannon going for that onside kick. And when I saw it, my first reaction was, that's stupid. Why was it? Oh. And I was like, wait, hold on a second here. He's challenging Nick Sirianni in this Eagles offense, and Brian Johnson said, hey, yeah, go make a play. Go call this right. They had one thing not go their way initially that was outside their control. And that was Jordan Mailata's the holding penalty. But the Eagles made the play with the 18-yard reception by A.J. Brown, his only catch in the second half. And then they get the penalty, and then that's where they just completely brain farted their way through this panic-stricken situation. They panic farted, essentially. So you're watching this happen, and you're going, oh, my God, Jonathan Gannon totally played him. Jonathan Gannon played him like a fiddle and won that battle. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Try to put it in the end zone. Oh, you can't? Oh, you choked? That's a shame. All right, march down the field, 7 plays, touchdown. Put it on the table, man. You put it on the table. All right. I very much look forward. Now, by the way, A.J. Brown bingo, in case you missed it earlier, A.J. Brown bingo, I know some people are just joining us here. A.J. Brown bingo is going to take place today, by the way, at 12:45. Eagles locker room opens. They have slated to speak today Jalen Hurts, and then the locker room opens. I don't know if what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Nick Sirianni will address the media today as well. So it'll be Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, locker room open, and then the walkthrough at practice. So with the locker room opening at 12:45, around that time, A.J. Brown should be addressing the media. So Nick Sirianni's at 12:30. Locker room at 12:45 for 45 minutes. Jalen Hurts will have his press conference as well during the locker room session. And then following that, they have their walkthrough that is closed to the media at 1:45. That's the Eagles' schedule today. My thing is, and I saw one person put up there, I'll give you credit when I do the actual chat check, but one person was just like, yeah, the coaching staff is ass. I would love to hear that. I would love for that honesty to come out. And speaking of ass, the Eagles in the second half of games, over this stretch of games that they've been through here, the 3 games that they've had, have absolutely fallen apart in the second half of these games. Matt Patricia, let's see, Seattle, New York, Arizona, has been the defensive play caller for those 3 games, has been on the field for those 3 games. He got asked the question yesterday about how you're supposed to change anything with essentially 4 games left in the season. How are you supposed to take it, by the horns and change anything? His explanation for that, in case you're like me, you're wondering how the hell you do that. His side of the story is, hey, I've said before, this is our defense, meaning Sean Desai and Matt Patricia's, with the guidelines built in by Nick Sirianni about what he wants to see from his defense. And this is our defense. So Matt Patricia has had fingerprints on this defense all season long. So him having this change, the only change to him is that he's actually calling the plays on the sidelines. Okay. I would think you would want a little bit more influence than that. And I've definitely seen more dramatic roles here, an increase for Eli Ricks, for instance. I mean, you're going to have Keely Ringo step up anyway because you have Darius Slay out, but you have a guy like Eli Ricks getting more snaps now. You've seen Sidney Brown used a little bit more as a missile at the safety position and also at the nickel corner position, especially with Avonte Maddox being out. Now, we'll see what goes down with him after an MRI. I expect him to play again this coming Sunday against the Giants. But Matt Patricia was asked about what happens in these second halves. Oh, so just to put a bow on that, he's had his fingerprints on this defense all season long. So it's not as dramatic a change as some people might assume since he has taken over as the defensive play caller. But then you get into the second half of the games, and the thing that's in common with all these games, 17 points against Seattle, 22 against the Giants, 29 this past Sunday. What goes on in those games? And this is what Matt Patricia says about his defense and what's going on throughout those second halves.
The last 3 games, one common theme has been the second half. I think 17 points in Seattle, 22 against the Giants, 29 Sunday. What are you seeing differently? What's happening that's causing like the leakage in the second half where it wasn't a problem in the first half?
Yeah. You know what? It's a great question as far as, I think that the guys have done a really good job. We've come out and played aggressive in the first half. And I think, for me, when those things happen, I always kind of just, I've got to put it back on myself to make sure that we're getting the right calls in or we're getting the right plays out there for them. Sometimes they make adjustments, and then we got to make our adjustments too in those situations. And then situationally, in the second half of the football game, there's so much more that comes in from a situational standpoint, the clock, the time, the down and distance. And those are things I got to keep just doing a good job of making sure that I stay in front of to allow the guys to go out there and handle those when they come up. And it comes fast in the second half, and I've got to do a better job with that, certainly.
If I could just follow up,
yeah.
Do you sense that guys are wearing down? Guys have played a lot of snaps this year. Do you sense there's any of that late in games?
Yeah, I don't really sense that at all.
Doesn't sense it. That has been a huge problem, obviously, over these last 3 games. Seattle, Drew Lock going 92 yards against you. All of a sudden, they make a change at quarterback with the Giants, and Tyrod Taylor's out there, and he leads the team back. Your offense goes stale, obviously. And then this game here against the Cardinals, it was just an implosion, an absolute implosion against the Cardinals, defensively speaking. And hey, man, I have no problem with bend but don't break as long as you don't break. I mean, I love Jim Johnson. We all love Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson's mantra was bend but don't break. Sean McDermott, after that, bend but don't break. As long as you don't break, you're cool. You're holding them to field goals even? Yeah, that's cool. You're getting turnovers in the red zone? Oh, that's great. You're getting 99-yard interception returns for touchdowns? That's great. But it's not things you could rely on. It's not things you could bank on. You got to make stops. You got to get off the field on third down. You can't have the worst third down conversion rate as a defense in the NFL. Sean Desai was doing that. What's Matt Patricia doing? You're going to make a change at defensive coordinator, essentially, defensive play caller. Yet the proof better be in the pudding. We absolutely had to make this decision and had to make this change because Sean Desai was so terrible that there is no way he could have led to better second-half performances against the Seahawks, the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants again. You make that change, you better be right, and so far they've been wrong. Terrible. And by the way, Sean Desai had to deal with the Cowboys. Sean Desai had to deal with the San Francisco 49ers. That's who he had to deal with. Matt Patricia has had the Giants, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals, and they're 1-2 in those games. They're 1-2. Make it make sense. I bet you can't. Right now, it looks like they face the Buccaneers in the first round of the playoffs. And it's weird. You tell me they're facing the Bucs in the first round, albeit in Tampa, where yes, they did win. Their first double-digit win of the season. Their only other one being against Miami, so I guess they just kicked Florida's ass in general. But yeah, I used to have so much confidence in this team. And I love the press conferences and media sessions and locker room sessions and all that stuff because it does give you an idea. even if what they're saying is one thing, you read the way they're saying it, you listen to the question, you hear the answer. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what they are thinking. Gives you a little bit of a window into their soul, right? But I can't remember a time I've more looked forward to what a player has to say more so than what A.J. Brown has to say. I'll give you this. I don't think he's going to give you the company line. When he addresses the media today during the locker room session, I doubt they're going to change things up now and put him up at the podium. The Eagles should do that. I doubt they will, because everyone wants to talk to A.J. right now. Somebody who hasn't spoken for, a week and a half, you want to hear from that guy. He's got a lot to say, a lot built up. And he also went on the talking strike, I guess. So you want to hear why he went on that. I've never looked forward more so than what a player has to say than right now. Because this is the time that's actually, you're going to get something out of it. I don't think you're going to get the company line. At the most, though, I don't think you're going to get him saying the coaches are ass, play calling is ass, we suck, we've been choking, play calling sucks. I don't think you're getting any of that. But I think what you are going to get are little nuggets, little things like Brian Johnson not answering questions about how you should have scored a touchdown there, or at least went for the touchdown there because your defense is terrible. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I think you're going to get things like that from A.J. Brown, where you're going to get questions and pauses, long pauses, thinking about not throwing somebody else under the bus in that locker room, not throwing a coach under the bus at the NovaCare complex, about not throwing an analytic department under the bus at the NovaCare complex. That's what I think you're going to get from A.J. Brown today. You're going to get a lot of this, like, hey, A.J., why does everybody suck? We win and lose as a team. Ooh, I didn't put that on the bingo card yet. Win and lose as a team. That's going to be a good one. Win and lose as a team. It is what it is. It is what it is. If we get repeated, it is what it is today. Oh, man. Just burn it all down. Burn it all to the ground. That's where I'm at for the Eagles today. And that's where I'm at for A.J. Brown and what he's going to be saying when he addresses the media later today. Let's move on to a happier subject here. Now, everything I do with the 76ers, ladies and gentlemen, is 1,000% about sheer enjoyment of a regular season. I am not using what I saw last night from the 76ers as a confidence booster as to what they're going to do when the playoffs roll around. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall into that trap. Here's the box score from last night. Joel Embiid, his 7th career triple-double. 31 points, 10 assists, 15 boards, all defensive. Absolutely cooked Andre Drummond last night, his old teammate. The man he once said he owns real estate in his head. Funny, considering Joel Embiid is selling his real estate in Philadelphia for $3 million, I believe it is. But no, that's what it sold for last time. Last night, 4th NBA player to record 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds in 14 straight games. Not too bad there for Joel Embiid. 3rd player over the last 50 seasons with 15 straight 30-point games. Kobe Bryant, James Harden, the other ones to do it. And 3rd 76er player with 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists in 2 or more games since Wilt Chamberlain and Charles Barkley. So that's some nice company there for Joel Embiid. The thing that absolutely blows me away about Joel Embiid this year is the assists. By the way, Tyrese Maxey, just for good measure, 21 points last night, 4-7 from beyond the arc. Tobias Harris, 20 points, 8 rebounds last night. What was Kelly Oubre? Kelly Oubre, 3 threes on 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 16 points. Got off to a hot start. Helped the Sixers out tremendously. How about Ricky Council? You can't see it because of the scroll there, but Ricky Council got into the game last night. Great to see that. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Sixers get the win over the Bulls. That's fantastic. But here's what is absolutely amazing about Joel Embiid and what he's been able to do this season compared to others. Remember last year when the Sixers got bounced out of the second round of playoffs? Remember? Okay, that's fun. And then it was after the campaign, our 3rd consecutive campaign, I believe it was. This one's successful for Joel Embiid to win MVP, and he finally won MVP. And we're like, oh, maybe it'll be different in the playoffs. He's the MVP. It'll be great. And then he was terrible. And then Nikola Jokic goes out there and dominates, and the back-to-back MVP at the time. Nikola Jokic goes out there and wins a championship. And we're watching Joker play the way he was playing, and we're watching how great he's playing in the playoffs, and we're all going, man, if we had an argument at some point about Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, you were probably right. That's probably how a lot of us are feeling, that Joel Embiid choked, and now Joker is the guy that is raising the Larry O'Brien trophy. If there's anything other than Tyrese Maxey and Nick Nurse about the way this team plays basketball that is different to me, it's Joel Embiid's ability to share the ball. And at the end of last season, that's one of the things that we had talked about. We need to see Joel Embiid get everybody else involved. And Doc Rivers did an interview recently, and I know Duck Rivers, as some of you in the chat like to refer to him. When he was talking about Joel Embiid, he said Joel Embiid is a better scorer, but Nikola Jokic makes everyone better. That old adage, okay, about what really makes a great player. This year, it really seems like Joel Embiid is doing a hell of a job of getting everybody else involved. Better than he ever has in his entire career. And for anyone that walked away from last season, myself included, saying you need to see more from Joel Embiid, he is averaging a career high 6.2 assists this season. 6.2 assists per game. That's up a full 2 assists from the 2 previous years. His previous high was 4.2. He is trending in the right direction. But to have over 6 assists per game this year is astounding to me. Also, at the same time, you would assume, he's focusing more on the assists. So his points are down, highest it's ever been in his career. 34.8 points per game. And he's also pulling down 11.8 rebounds per game. This is his best average per game since his third year in the league, where he did average 13.6 rebounds per game. So things are looking up. Things are looking up for the 76ers. But I'm not buying in until I actually see him win in the playoffs, because that's ultimately what matters above everything else. Before I get into the chat check, let me tell you guys about the amazing, the wonderful Game Time app. If you guys are looking for a great gift for someone special in your life, I know a gift-giving season just wrapped up, but birthdays, Valentine's Day just around the corner. You want to get great tickets to the big event, to the big sporting event, to the comedy show, to the theater, whatever it might be, download the Game Time app to your phone. Create an account, enter promo code FARZI, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase at the Game Time app. The Game Time app is fantastic because it's a ticket buying process that you can trust, that you can have confidence in. Shouldn't worry about where you buy your tickets, especially if you buy from the Game Time app. If you want tickets to the big event, Game Time app is where it's at. Fast, easy, and it's the best way to buy tickets for sports, comedy, all that stuff. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices that lets you view your seat, and the best price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Last-minute ticket flashes, flash deals, zone deals. You can even find and buy tickets to every kind of event in your area. View all the seats from the venue, and like I said, that lowest price is guaranteed. Event cancellation protection, as well as job loss protection, ladies and gentlemen. And how about the Game Time guarantee? It means if you find a seat in the row and section for less money elsewhere, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Not too bad. And here's one of the best things ever. All-in prices. So at the end, you don't see that, service fee, $20. What? No, ladies and gentlemen. They got you covered with the great people at the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone. Create an account. Use promo code FARZI. That's FARZY. And get $20 off your first purchase at the Game Time app. How about MyBookie? MyBookie.ag. Take advantage of all they're offering right now with promo code FARZI, up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus with MyBookie.ag. Want to bet on sports? Want to bet on football? Want to bet on basketball? Want to bet on hockey? Flyers lost last night. Womp, womp. Bet on it all right there at the MyBookie app, MyBookie.ag. Sports not your thing? You want to bet on TV shows? You can bet on TV shows in the Game Time app. You want to bet on politics? Oh, man. You know how to party. Bet on politics at the MyBookie app, MyBookie.ag. Use promo code FARZI for up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie.ag. Let's get into the chat check and see how you wonderful people are doing on this fine Wednesday morning. Hitting buttons. There we go. April. Good morning, April. Sean Kilrain. What's going on, Sean? April saying good morning. Really enjoy the show. Oh, thank you, David. Appreciate you. Real truth. Hurts overrated. That's immense. I don't think Hurts is overrated. I think this offense is so messed up. So messed up. Here's what I'll say about the Hurts overrated thing. They should have trusted Hurts to make a play. Not with his legs, but with his arm. And I know that some people at that time, I remember I tweeted out, you burned a timeout for that, meaning the Kenny Gainwell screen. You burned a timeout for that on the 3rd and 19. And somebody said, they don't trust Hurts to throw. Really? They trusted him to the red zone prior to that. Julio Jones came up with that touchdown reception for their first touchdown of the game. Had another one got tipped, but A.J. Brown still made the play, or Julio Jones made the play. He was having one of his best accuracy days of the season. I trust him. They should have trusted him to make a play. And unfortunately, they didn't. I think this coaching staff is the problem. I think the coaching has been atrocious. I look at the players, especially on offense, and I go, these are some pretty damn good players. How are they not being put in better position to make plays? That's my thing. I don't think Hurts is overrated. I think he's having a down year. There's no question that. I think there has been a regression this year. There's no question there's been a regression in production this year. But I don't put it all on him. I put a lot of it on this coaching staff and not know what the hell they're doing. Put it this way, if there's a hierarchy of blame and disappointment, it's in the coaching staff. It's not in Jalen Hurts. Sean Kilrain, I saw Baldy ripping Jordan Davis out of shape. It's kind of weak to say that it's week 17 after the amount of snaps that they've had. I don't put that on him. AJ Brown, this is what it was. Andrew, you're the guy I saw. AJ, these coaches are ass. I'll put that on the bingo card. Thank you. Sean Kilrain. AJ bingo card. I gotta do a better job. Ooh, definitely. I gotta do a better job. I could see the PR staff. Could you just say that you need to be better, please? Steven, what's up, Steven? Steven or Stefan? Stefan? They even predictable in press conferences. That's great. Stefan, this sounds very New Englandish, where they're saying a lot without saying anything. Very much so. Real truth is back. Oh, God, what are you going to say now? Eagles won the Super Bowl in Kansas City. Look at their record since then. Don't make me go back over the schedule. I made the mistake 2 days ago, and I reported back to you guys on the plays that really stuck out to me. And I look back in my – that was a good – that's a solid sound. Listen to that. Ooh. So the people on the podcast, are you enjoying that? Anyway. The first ones I went back to was – the number one was coming out of the bye week. Valdez-Scantling dropping that ball in the end zone, how that would have changed things against the Chiefs. Then I went to Stephon Diggs. No, not Diggs. Gabe Davis. That was the second one I looked at. Breaking the wrong way on a route from Josh Allen. Jake Elliott getting a 59-yard field goal in the same game in the rain. That's crazy. Reed Blankenship's forearm against the Washington Commanders. That was a pretty crazy one too. But yeah, could have very easily lost that Kansas City game. And I think they have the right attitude. I just think they've been ass since then. Sean Gillespie, good morning. Sean Kilrain. But Sean's are very big on this show. We run the same damn play, bubble screens, 5 ins, etc. You know the rest. That's why everyone knows what we run, Farzy. Yeah, Sean, I agree 1,000%. Dank, this sums it up. Miscommunication, and then in bold letters, it's week 17 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I see 5 exclamation points there? Yeah. This stuff can't happen, man. Can't happen. Sean Gillespie, I can't stand any of these coaches now just dealing with their stupidity or detailing their stupidity. Can't take it anymore. Yep. OCD gamer, my condolences. What a complete meltdown by the Eagles. Yeah, pretty much. Travis, what's up, Travis? I think Howie, Laurie, and Sirianni got together and said, let's play soft, so come the offseason, we're healthy and we're underdogs. That's how we won a Super Bowl, being underdogs, not when everyone is expecting. Okay. I'll just say this. I think I'd rather play a home game in the playoffs than not, and that's where they are. Dr. Rico, AJ is turning into T.O. I'll tell you this, Dr. Rico. I love T.O. And T.O. was right. Terrell Owens was 1,000% right in that whole debacle. I hope AJ Brown is the whistleblower. We need a whistleblower. That's ultimately what I'm rooting for right now. Oh man, thanks. So that's the right play call. Your star wide receiver got hurt. Yeah, that's the right play call, and they executed. There's a right play call, and they executed. What could go wrong? Everything went wrong. Those hospital passes? What? Dang, AJ isn't turning into T.O.? Oh boy, are you about to say he has turned into T.O.? It's really head coach, no answers, and just does the same thing over and over. That is the definition of stupidity. Forget about insanity. It's stupidity straight up. What is happening? Face orange, biting nails, face orange, biting nails, face orange. Watch this defense. Okay, I feel you on that. Well, that's what we didn't want. Spread the ball. Oh, thank you. Yeah, not forcing the ball to AJ. Yes, exactly. Travis Wilson got. It's not our staff on defense because with Desai, number 6 best with Patricia, went from 31st worst to 10th best in defense. We are playing soft to save ourselves 4 playoffs. I hope so. AJ is going to put everyone on blast after a playoff loss. It's going to be ugly. Oh, man, April. Don't make me look forward to that. But you're right. I mean, I feel like as a fan base, Philadelphia needs someone to be like, hey, everything you're saying is justified. Even though I think we know that we're justified. We're not just pulling things out of a hat saying, what can we bitch about this week? Oh, play calling. What can we bitch about this week? Oh, look at this defensive inefficiency. Oh, cool. Oh, what else can we talk about? Turnovers. Like these are all legit things that we are bringing to the table here. It's that lady in the stands. What the hell are you doing? Connor. What's up, Connor? We threw the ball to AJ one time in the second half and looked completely incompetent. I'd be pissed off if I was AJ too. Go off, King. Damn right. Oh, here's the thing. Yeah, you had one completion to AJ Brown. Oh, and what happened? Oh, was it a loss? No, it was an 18-yard gain. Maybe get him the ball a little bit more. Travis is back. It's kind of smart to play soft and save your players because we already made the playoffs. So be underdog. People's, oh, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You have your quarterback literally saying, the guys aren't buying in, guys aren't committed. You have Sidney Brown, a rookie, looking around being like, yeah, guys aren't committed. And then you want to take that into the games? I'm a big believer in you practice, or you play how you practice. That's where you develop habits. An instinct. Philly is just Arizona curse. What's up, Mihai Sanchez? D-backs and now the Cardinals. What's next? Flyers lose the cup to the Coyotes, and the Sixers lose to the Suns. Damn Arizona. Having a great day. Or have a great day, everyone. Yeah. Sean Gillespie, I hereby rescind. I love I hereby. I hereby rescind my generous offer to be the Eagles head coach. I wouldn't be able to contain my anger and frustration at this organization. You know, that doesn't remind me. My one thought I did have about A.J. Brown addressing the media today. If you guys are a fan of the critically acclaimed, I believe multiple Oscar-winning movie Half-Baked, I might have my facts wrong on that. I'm not sure. But Half-Baked, when Scarface quits his job, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you. You're cool, bleep you, I'm out. I think that's A.J. Brown today. That could also happen. If you know how to do head replacements on video, you make that up for me. Sirianni is a Teflon coach. You know what the thing is with Sirianni? All the anger that he's getting, I totally understand. But the Teflon thing, here's what I think people realize that the problem's bigger than him. Now, when you say that about a head coach, what the hell does that mean? That means that the front office has a hell of a lot more say than most other front offices. So I think people realize that. I get what you're saying, Brian. He doesn't call the plays. How can it be his fault? Ha ha, what a joke. He calls the plays. Him and Brian Johnson call the plays. Nick Sirianni is a lot more involved than what we thought at the beginning of the season. But I think a lot of it is what's installed during the game plan. And that's where you have guys like the analytical department, the analytics department, Howie Roseman, and Jeffrey Lurie weighing in. And I think there's a lot of cooks in that kitchen. I don't think Nick Sirianni gets fired. I think they're very comfortable with him, and that's not always a good thing. I'm not saying that as a praise. He's certainly, when you're looking at that second to last possession, I look right at Nick Sirianni, and I look right at Brian Johnson. I don't look anywhere else. So if people are excusing him for that, that's not, no. There's no excuse there. But Teflon, I think what people look at a lot of times is that he's not all power here. He's not an all-powerful head coach, unfortunately. So when I say unfortunately, so that we know exactly where to direct that blame. In the final possession, second to last possession, yeah. I'm looking at Brian Johnson and I'm looking at Nick Sirianni. And by the way, according to the press conference yesterday with Brian Johnson, one of the things that they got into was the messaging from Nick. And the messaging from Nick to look at Brian Johnson yesterday was basically make sure you get points. And I think Brian Johnson took that as, okay, we'll make sure we get points, but we're going to be extremely conservative. And we're going to be extremely cautious with our play calling. That's why you have 2 quarterback runs, and that's why you have a bubble screen with a timeout thrown in the middle there. Travis. Howie looked at this team with old veterans and 10-1, knowing we'll make the playoffs, and said, let's play soft. Smart Howie playing all of us to watch this team in the playoffs come alive. Yeah, I hope that's the case. What's up, Real? Get the buses ready for 12:45. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody I didn't get? Salem. Last year we won by taking chances with giving our playmakers, AJ, opportunities. Kind of why you pay premium money for a player. Absolutely. Linebackers aren't filling their gaps. That's also terrible. Everything's terrible. It's all terrible. What are you doing?
Daddy.
Uh-oh.
And there's a TV, TV's not when we have a for Apple.
Can I ask you something? What's AJ Brown going to say today? Nothing. If you think he was going to say one thing, what would you think he says today?
I want to tell you something.
You want to tell me something? Go for it. What do you got?
Oh, TV's not wanting me watching for Apple.
You know, your father has a YouTube show you should watch. Who did you dress up like last night?
Princess Jasmine.
Princess Jasmine. Yes, you did. I'm almost done, and I'll be with you shortly. How about that? Good deal? Good deal. Good talk. See, that's called communication. Why don't the Eagles do that? Lil Toots is obviously AJ Brown. I'm Nick Sirianni. That's how you handle that, guys. What's the over-under with AJ's presser? I'm going to go 8 minutes. I'm going to set the line at 8 minutes. Adam, I love a high school Harry reference. It's kind of what it feels like. Did Brian Johnson call Alabama's last play? Hurts is going third OC. The screen. Farzi, they can't fire because Babs dropping the dimes here. Farzi, they can't fire Sirianni because what if the new head coach wants a different quarterback? I'm going to say right now, I think a lot of coaches want to coach Jalen Hurts. I think the organization wants Jalen Hurts. See, Big, this is the thing. This is where you're not arguing result. You're arguing play design. not just play call, but play design. And I love this. Why not have Gainwell block for Smitty? Yeah, why not? I don't know. Nonconformist, great name. Can't let Howie off the hook. Let 7 starters on defense go. Yeah. Eagles are undefeated this year. Thank you, Real Truth. Wait, hold on a second. The number of times we quote the exact line at work or every day at work. I know, right? Witness this year, too much control in 2022. For the AJ, oh God, the Vic Fangio thing, terrible. What's the message, Farzy? We play to lose the game. That is the message. Gainwell's Howie's guy, Fletcher's cousin. Oh, good God. Good God. Babs is saying hi, little sweetie. Thank you, Babs. Lil MacGyver speaks. What's up, Sean? That screen, the screen. Get Harbaugh. Ooh. I still have hope. Go Birds. There you go, David. That's what I need to see. Mitch! What's up, Mitch? It's been a while. Yeah, man. Nice to see you. Why would we have Smitty block when AJ is 225 pounds on the other side? Makes no sense. Will, see, you see, that's the problem. That's what, well, excuse me. I'm sorry. Did I say that's the problem? That's one of the many problems. We're doomed. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. After the 76ers handled the business last night with a 110-97 win over the Bulls in South Philadelphia. By the way, Chicago, I didn't even realize it. Chicago, they won the fourth quarter 25-12, and it made no difference. What was the one thing I didn't check from last night? Was it 25? I think it was 25 points. I think that was the largest lead of the game last night. Let me just Let me check that out real quick. Largest lead 31. Samsonite. I was way off. 31 points. Bulls never led. Their largest lead 0. Flyers took the LS. Oh wait, no, hold on. Let me get back to the Sixers. Sixers 23-10 now on the regular season. They're back at it. Friday night 7:30 tip off against the Knicks in South Philadelphia, and then the Flyers, they took an L last night, a tough L, 5-2. They've lost 3 in a row now. What the hell, Flyers? They're back at it tomorrow night against the Blue Jackets. They return from their 5-game road trip, and they get the Blue Jackets 7 o'clock tomorrow night in South Philadelphia. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are awesome as per usual. So much to look forward to today. I really look forward about what's going to happen with this media session with AJ Brown. Play along with me. Maybe we'll release some of the things on our social media about the AJ Brown bingo card. We'll have some fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. And remember, download the Game Time app to your phone. Use promo code Farzy for $20 off your first purchase. When you download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, $20 off your first ticket purchase to all the events in our area, including sports as well. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. This is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.